Hello and welcome. In this video, we'll be talking about the very familiar relational trauma question, why am I so negative? This is such an important topic, and I'm so excited to share this content with you. But before we get started, let me share a little more about who I am and why I'm sharing this with you today. I'm Annie Wright. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a trauma clinician with a specialty in relational trauma recovery. I'm also the founder of a boutique trauma-informed therapy center, and in addition to this, I'm also an online course creator and a published mental health writer, with my pieces and opinions appearing in Forbes, Business Insider, NBC, and the Huffington Post, among others. Every bit of my work in the world, whether this is through my clinical work, through my online courses, or through content like this that I put out into the world, is designed to support those who come from childhood trauma backgrounds to have the best adulthood possible despite adverse early beginnings. If who I am and what I share resonates with you, please be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and sign up for my newsletter in the section below. And now, as part of helping you have the best adulthood possible, despite how you may have started out in life, we're going to explore today's topic, relational trauma. Why am I so negative? In this video, we'll cover the following: how developmental trauma primes our brains for negativity, how to use evidence-based interventions to rewire the brain for positivity, how EMDR can rewire chronic negative thinking, and more. But before we dive into today's topic, I just want to say that I'm so glad to connect with you, and I truly hope that even a small part of what I share here can be of support to you. And very importantly, please remember, no matter where you're starting from, change is possible. With that in mind, let's begin this journey together by exploring today's topic, relational trauma. Why am I so negative? To start, let's explore how developmental trauma primes our brains for negativity. Let me begin this video by saying that I have yet to meet someone from a relational trauma background who sees the world as glass half full versus glass half empty. If you do come from a relational trauma background and yet still have an overwhelmingly optimistic attitude, that is amazing. Also, please message me so I can say I know there's at least one person out there like this. But for the rest of us, for the majority of us who have experienced relational trauma, we may live with a persistent sense of discontent and possibly a deeply ingrained negativity bias. Because of this, the question, why am I so negative, is likely something we've asked ourselves or others have asked us many times over the years. It's a question people have asked me before. Why are you so negative, Annie? Now, in full honesty, when I was younger, that kind of questioning used to make me feel ashamed. Now, though, it makes me a little angry and self-protectively defensive. Look, developmental trauma is not an equal opportunity affliction, and nor are its impacts. Coming from a relational trauma history makes us different than our non-traumatized peers. That's the first point I really want you to hear as we discuss the question, why am I so negative? So negative compared to who? Compared to your non-traumatized peers or your peers from relational trauma backgrounds who may have endured comparable life experiences. Look, I don't like comparison in general, but if you're going to compare yourself to anyone when asking the question, why am I so negative? Compare yourself to a comparable peer group, just for starters. Okay, so now with that hopefully validating statement out of the way, let's really unpack how and why relational trauma / developmental trauma experiences can create negativity in our brains and shape how we see the world. Understanding why negative thoughts persist after developmental trauma involves exploring the incredibly complex neural landscape. Neuroscience. Keeping with the analogy of landscaping, the brain of individuals who have experienced trauma resembles a chaotic terrain. Prolonged stress during formative years disrupts the delicate balance of the HPA, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, leading to significant changes in cortisol levels. These altered cortisol levels strongly affect the amygdala, a key player in our emotional responses, shaping our perceptions and reactions to the world. The amygdala, a key player in the brain's emotional system, becomes extra active. This increased activity triggers a higher level of fear and anxiety, making the person more prone to viewing situations as threats, even if they're not. This heightened sensitivity to potential dangers can become the brain's default setting, fueling negative thinking and reactions. At the same time, chronic stress negatively impacts the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for rational thought and functions like planning and decision making. The neural connections in this region may weaken, making it challenging for individuals to manage their emotions, think clearly, and respond logically to their surroundings. This difficulty reinforces negative thought patterns as the person struggles to confront or understand their fears and anxieties. Furthermore, the hippocampus, essential for memory formation and recall, can also be affected. Prolonged stress may reduce hippocampal volume, impacting the ability to create new memories and distorting past recollections. This distortion can reinforce negative self-perceptions and worldviews, as traumatic memories are more easily remembered than positive ones. In addition to all of this, neural pathways, akin to footprints in the sand, are carved and recarved by our thought patterns. For those of us with developmental trauma, the loop of negativity, negative thought triggers, fixed automatic responses, internalization of a negative narrative, and reinforcement of negative beliefs becomes a highway, a default mode barely noticed as those worn out roads take us down familiar yet sometimes crushing mental journeys. Okay, so that's a lot of neuroscience information that hopefully helps you compassionately understand how and why your brain may be predisposed to negativity if you come from a developmental trauma background. But if you're asking the question, why am I so negative? Chances are high you're not just clinically curious about why this is, you're likely looking to change the predisposition you have towards negative thinking. Fortunately, there are interventions that can be used to rewire the brain for positivity. So let's explore 4 evidence-based exercises and a powerful psychotherapeutic option that can truly help to rewire your brain and support a reduction in chronic negative thinking. The process of rewiring the brain is not easy, and it's not quick, and it's certainly not one size fits all, but it is possible thanks to the concept of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, or brain plasticity, describes how different life experiences create and reorganize neural pathways in our brain. These neural connections, for better or for worse, are what form our thought and behavior patterns as we move through our daily lives. But the good news is this: the brain is plastic and can change up until the day we die if we learn new skills, memorize new information, or provide ourselves with new experiences. So each time you have a repeated experience, whether negative or positive, be they thoughts or words about yourself, you deepen the neural grooves in your brain. Again, for better or for worse. When you unintentionally or intentionally create a different experience for yourself, you can create new neural pathways. New positive experiences and different kinds of self-talk create new, perhaps more functional neural pathways. Isn't that great? So let's discuss 4 self-directed options that actively support the formation of those more positive neural pathway experiences in our own brains. Reshaping the neural pathways that cause chronic negative thinking may seem tough, but with regular practice, anyone can develop a more optimistic mindset. These scientifically proven exercises provide practical ways to encourage positive thinking and boost resilience and optimism. The first exercise is engaging in best possible self mental imagery. What do I mean by this? Spend 15 minutes every day envisioning your best future self, focusing on personal, relational, and professional aspects. Research shows this practice can boost optimism and mood, especially when combined with regular journaling about these inspiring visions. For example, spend 15 minutes in the morning in quiet reflection, envisioning your ideal future across personal, professional, and relational dimensions. Visualize achieving your career ambitions, where work aligns with passion, leading to genuine fulfillment. Imagine enriching relationships with family and friends, marked by presence and deep connection. This practice isn't just daydreaming, it's a strategic approach to crafting a more comprehensive vision of your future, a positive vision of your future. Regular engagement in this practice can motivate current decisions and actions, making this envisioned future feel more attainable. The second self-directed option you can practice is gratitude exercises. Make time each day to reflect on the things that you're grateful for. This can be achieved through gratitude journaling or a simple mental acknowledgement of 3 daily gifts and blessings. Research has shown that gratitude exercises can boost optimism, mental and physical health, thus promoting overall well-being. Pretty cool. How this can look? Well, start each day by recognizing 3 very specific things you're grateful for, focusing on genuine and perhaps overlooked aspects of daily life. Here's a little list. Unexpected help. Gratefulness for the stranger who helped you pick up items you dropped in the elevator on the way up to your office. It's a reminder of the small acts of kindness in the world. The safety and health of your kiddo. Acknowledging and appreciating that the person you love most in the world is well and safe is a powerful gratitude practice. New, delicious distraction. You can be thankful for the release of great new shows on Netflix to disappear into and consciously disassociate from your adult reality. Frankly, I think it's a totally legitimate thing to be grateful for. This practice, grounded in research, fosters an optimistic outlook and bolsters well-being by encouraging you to notice and value the positive, yet often unnoticed, moments and elements in your life, even if they feel small. Okay, so the third exercise is to adopt mindfulness and meditation practices. I know, but hear me out. Incorporate mindfulness meditation into your daily routine to bring your focus back to the present, thus reducing the habit of negative future thinking. For instance, just spend a few minutes each morning on focused breathing exercises. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and pay attention to the rhythm of your breath, how the air feels entering and leaving your body, the rise and fall of your chest. This simple practice, supported by ample research, can gradually retrain your brain towards positivity by diminishing patterns of negative rumination and increasing awareness of the current moment. Fourth and finally, participate in regular aerobic exercise. Regular aerobic exercise has been shown to enhance mood and cognitive functions, including optimism. This improvement is partly due to increased blood flow to the brain, supporting neuroplasticity and angiogenesis, essential for learning and brain health. Regular physical activity also boosts levels of proteins such as BDNF, VEGF, and IGF-1, which are crucial for brain cell survival and growth. Furthermore, combining physical exercise with mental activities like meditation can alleviate depression symptoms and improve cognitive control, contributing to a more positive outlook on life. Now, in addition to these personal exercises, the evidence-based psychotherapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR for short, is a power tool for those seeking to reshape their thinking, especially those of us from relational trauma backgrounds. EMDR is known for effectively addressing post-traumatic stress disorder and offers benefits for various mental health issues marked by persistent negative thoughts. EMDR works on the idea that unprocessed memories lead to negative emotions, and it uses an 8-step therapy, which involves recalling distressing images and then bilateral sensory input. This method helps restructure the brain processes related to trauma, reducing negative effects and fostering a more positive mindset. Research indicates EMDR's broad effectiveness in tackling chronic negative thoughts, proving beneficial for conditions like psychosis, bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety, substance use disorders, and chronic pain, to name just a few examples. EMDR, with its emphasis on addressing past trauma that can lead to current psychological issues, is a particularly helpful therapeutic choice for those of us with negative thinking, persistently rooted in unresolved childhood traumatic experiences. EMDR can help guide us towards shifting towards a more positive, resilient mindset. Okay, to wrap up, let's remember that, put plainly, early bad experiences can really affect how you think. This might make you see things in a negative way, experience chronic levels of discontent, or expect the worst all the time. If you're wondering why it's hard to shake off these negative thoughts, why you're so negative, it's because of the way that trauma changes the brain. It's not that you're a Debbie Downer. It's that parts of your brain, the parts that deal with emotions, decision-making, and memory, may be architected in a way that predisposes you to negativity based on your early childhood experiences. But despite the architecting and impacts of your early experiences, change is still possible. Our brains can change, literally up until the day we die. You can do things like imagine your best future, be thankful for what you have, pay attention to the present, meditate, and exercise regularly to help re-architect and rewire your brain to think more positively. And on top of this, therapies like EMDR are especially good for people who've been through relational trauma histories. So, did you resonate with this video? Have you struggled with chronic negative thinking yourself? What exercises or practices have supported you as you've worked to rewire your brain? If you feel so inclined, please leave a message below so that others can benefit from your share and wisdom. You never know who on the other side of the world you might be helping when you share your story. Finally, if you're still not sure if this content applies to you, if you're still not sure if you come from a relational trauma history or struggle with impacts from relational trauma, I would invite you to take my signature quiz. Do I come from a relational trauma background? It's a 5-minute, 25-question quiz I created that can be incredibly illuminating and will point you in the direction of a wide variety of resources that can be of further help to you right away. Plus, when you take the quiz, you'll be added to my mailing list, where you'll receive twice-a-month letters from me sharing original high-quality essays with accompanying YouTube videos and audios you can stream, all devoted to the topic of relational trauma recovery, and where I share more about me as a person, my life, and how I'm journeying through my own relational trauma recovery journey and general adulthood. My newsletters are the only place where I share intimate glimpses into my life, including photos, the resources that are supporting me, the things I've discovered that delight me, words that are uplifting me, the practices that nourish me, etc. So please be sure to sign up for my mailing list whether or not you want to take the quiz. I'll link to both of these things in the show notes below. Finally, thank you so much for listening to me today. I truly hope that even a small part of what I shared today felt helpful to you. If you found value in this video and would like to stay connected with my latest content, please consider giving the video a like. Also, subscribing to my channel and turning on the notification bell ensures you're always up to date with my newest videos. I appreciate your support and look forward to continuing this journey with you. So thank you. And until next time, please take such good care of yourself. You're so worth it.